plan your fun on a budget. So instead of looking at all these exotic vacations that could cost you thousands of dollars, setting your family back financially for who knows how long, I'd consider staycations or road trips that would allow you to have just as much fun, but for a fraction of the cost. I've seen so many cool videos on Instagram and TikTok of these glamping sites, these lakefront tiny home communities, and all of these, and it just looks so much fun to me. And I believe you could do that, have just as much of a blast with your significant other or your family for a fraction of the cost. And it's just so much fun to dig in. I screenshot them all. I save them and put them on my list and look them up later on. And I think you could do the same because so many people feel that they need to do this crazy thing for vacation in the summer to have fun. And I disagree. I love road trips. I like going to museums and all of that and doing it for a fraction of the cost.
Now, another hack for families out there with some kiddos, your public library summer programs. Y'all are sleeping on these programs. Here in Nashville, we've got obviously a public library, and they've got some really cool summer events. I pulled up their website here to give you some inspiration. There's aquarium thing going on June 7. They're opening up a new branch on June 24, and they're celebrating that with like food trucks, fun, music, festivities. They've got a puppet show happening at the Country Music Hall of Fame that's free. They've got a book giveaway going on, ballet story times. I mean, they've got some really cool stuff here, right? And so if you've got children who are excited by this stuff, maybe you've got some 3, some 6, some 7, some 10-year-olds, and you're looking for ways to keep them entertained on the weekends during the summertime or maybe throughout the week, check out your local public library and see what summer programs they've got going on, because maybe all this stuff isn't perfectly free, but they're not going to charge you $70 or $120 or something like it is to go to Disney World, right? We're talking about some local fun in your neighborhood, meet some friends, invite the fam. It'll be a good time. Now, if you're thinking, wait a second, guys, I don't have children. I'm not a family person. We're in our 20s, 30s, or 40s, and we're trying to have some fun on the weekend or have a reasonably priced date. Something that my girlfriend and I do is we like to go do some picnics, right? We're talking about going to the park here in Nashville. They got something called the Parthenon. Actually, Robert has hung out with me at that park a couple times. It's pretty cool. We bring some wine. We've got our little speaker, and we've got some Jersey Mike subs, and we're hanging out. We're listening to music. We're enjoying the time outside for a couple hours that way, right? There's tons of ways to get creative during the summertime to still have some fun without spending thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of dollars every single time. A great example of this over the weekend too, if you can still tell, I'm still sick, unfortunately, but I had to go hang out with my friends and we went to a bar. I had like a Coke and I spent not that much money, but I still played cornhole and I still had some tater tots and it was a lot of fun. And I didn't have to spend the, hundreds of dollars that they spent on their drinks and the bottles and all that other stuff, right? So don't forget, there's still the happy hours. There's the fun things you can still do around if you're not actually including alcohol into the mix. Gets pretty expensive that way. And finally, something my friends and I love to do is float down the river, right? There's a river here by my neighborhood. I got some of these inflatable tubes 2 summers ago on Amazon. I think they were like 50 or 60 bucks for about a half dozen of them. We can like string them all together. We got some music going and we all just float down the river for 2 hours and hang out. Like there's so many things to do that are a lot of fun that don't involve these $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 vacations or these, crazy big Airbnbs. Like have some fun with your family, do the things around you and just spend time with people you really care about. That is where the fun derives from.
I 100% agree. And I'm really enjoying this episode because I think back like when we used to go tubing, but even recently going snorkeling in the ocean was a blast. Going kayaking is super inexpensive. You don't have to go out and spend $1,000 on kayaks. So many parks that have rivers and lakes, rent them. They're a blast. You can do that for a few hours, but it's just all about getting creative, because at the end of the day, you can't kick the proverbial can down the road forever and overspend every single year because it's very seasonal. We have the summer season gets expensive, holidays get expensive, wedding season gets expensive, and you can't just be in this cycle over and over again and expect to ever achieve financial freedom. So I'm really enjoying kind of going through memory lane here of all the cool hacks I've done over the years where it seems like it's romantic and it's fun, but it's not super expensive. So I'm really, really loving this episode.
Before we go to this next one, I'm still looking on this website. They've got on June 28th, they've got a yoga time, story-filled yoga time for your kids aged 3 to 7 at one of their branches here. They have a free foam party happening on July 19 for ages 0 to 7. I mean, I might just show up to some of these events, man. This looks like fun. Why did I just now discover how cool the summertime public library events are? What's going on?
Like Austin just said, is do the research, find the cool things. I was talking to one of my business partners even yesterday, and I was like, are you around this weekend? And he's like, no. He's like, I'm using some airline points. We're going to see these museums in Columbus, Ohio, and we're going to stay at this cool little inexpensive Airbnb. Just be creative and find ways, because I'm sure your family and significant other will appreciate it and really just have just as much fun